So it's been about 2 months since I last worked on this project. Thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update. So you'll see the footage of me taking it down, getting the suspension off. As you can see, there's no wheels on here. That's kind of where we left off. Got all the parts I believe I need. So I've got obviously the springs, and then I've got the new axle, and I've got all the hanger stuff needed to put this on. Found out a couple other things. The lights here, this is just my OCD kicking it. The lights here on either side aren't at the same depth on the frame, so I'm going to cut them off and match them up. I want to move them right to the back though, I think, so that like when you're cruising down the road they're the easiest to see because it's not obstructed by anything. So I got some more work to do with taking down and adding than I expected, and then after that's all done, we'll get to doing some painting on the unit, I guess. That'll be the next step. Trying to protect it as much as I can after we did all this work. So I've done a lot of research here on how to make sure that it doesn't dog and everything like that. Very concerned about dogging and all that stuff, making sure it follows behind that trailer as much as possible, and installing the axle right. You want to make sure your camber is up at the top or pointing to the sky, because when you add your weight it bends a little bit. This axle here, it's rated for 2,000 pounds, so I think that's way more than what I'll need, unless, you know, we start adding more stuff into the boat itself. But the boat itself, you know, 100 pounds, the motor 200 pounds, you throw in a tank of fuel, that's what, 50 pounds, battery about 50 pounds, you know, so you can get it up to 500 pounds. That's way under what the axle can do, so that's okay. And then adding more stuff as if you're camping or whatever. And then I guess there's the seats too. But that's enough chit chat. We're gonna get to work here and start building it back up and putting it back together. Or I'll do more tear down and then do build up. So as you can see, all the added metal that they had on for the suspension has been taken off. It's been sitting for a while, as you can tell by the rust, but I got a flap disc, that'll take that right off real quick. And we're taking off the lights, they'll get moved back. It's strange, it looks like it was put on there originally and then moved back for whatever reason. I'm not sure why that was done. Anyways, these pieces on the inside, I'm going to cut those off too. They're really not serving any purpose at all, so we'll do that. Then it should be completely taken down. So as you can see, we've got some heavy duty angle iron, and the reason is because the axle is actually too long by about half inch, I would say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut chunks of this angle iron out here, and I'm going to weld them onto the frame to extend the frame out a little bit and reinforce it where the hangers need to go for the suspension, once I get that all figured out. And the way you do that is from the tip here of the ball, where the ball sits on the truck, you measure from there back. So measuring out how long this trailer is and everything, I need to measure 116 inches from there to the back, and that's exactly where the axle, center of the axle, is going to sit. Okay, so the middle of the axle needs to sit there, which means the hangers themselves need to sit whatever the distance is. And then these guys still have their pieces on them, those are going to come off, the back ones there, but they're supposed to be a half inch back towards the axle to give that extra added spring amount. So that's all my research has indicated. I don't build trailers. Like, I've just researched and then verified the information on multiple sources. So, and the multiple sources all said the same thing. Plus I double checked, cross-checked with AI just to get multiple sources, make sure everything's accurate. Should move anywhere. Guess there's no on-off switch on this guy. As soon as we plug her in, she's going. So I want the axle on first. The axle should be going right about there in that location. So these are going to be going here like so. Oh yeah. It's freaking hot. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' precious time either with one big long video that may be of interest or may not be. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. So now that we've got the plates on, the axle attached to the plates and the leaf springs, that system's set up. What I need to do now is weld the hangers on. So the hangers need to be in a specific location for this to work properly. So the hangers were measured out with the leaf springs on the angle iron that we've welded on already. So the hangers actually need to be right in the middle of where the angle iron is. And the reason why I had to set up the axles with the plates and everything and the leaf springs is to get my width perfect. I needed to see that visually rather than just measuring it out. I don't like that guesswork there with the measuring. So now that I've got this all set up, I can get the hangers in place perfectly, and then I can start welding the hangers on and attaching the axle suspension system to the frame. That'll be what's next. So the hangers have been attached on 3 sides. What I'll do is I'll attach that other side after I flip it over, just so I can have easier access to it. Welding upside down is not my forte, especially if I can just flip the trailer and do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing to the back hangers. Now that we have these ones here figured out, it'll be easy to figure out the left, right, I guess, driver side, passenger side, port, starboard, shimmy on the other ones, because they're done a little bit differently. They're actually narrower than these ones, so that there's plates that go on the outside that join the two, the rear axle or the rear leaf spring to the hanger. So I'll get that figured out, and then we'll get them welded on, and then maybe we'll get some tires on, flip it over. I don't know, we'll see. There we go. 3 welds. Happy Canada Day, everybody. I'll get it flipped over and we'll run those other beads. Grey Poupon. There, all those lug nuts that you have, you want to put them on loosely around. Doesn't matter which way you go. Okay? You're just getting them on nice and loose. Loosey goosey.
Like
thank you for your help. Yeah, just like that. So after you get them on snugged up like that, there's a pattern that you're supposed to tighten with. I don't know the pattern, I don't follow it. But from what I know is you're supposed to go like across from, you're supposed to tighten this one up, then 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 tighten this one up, or something like that. You're supposed to, there's a pattern to how you're supposed to tighten them. I've never done it. All I do is with a torque wrench is I go to 100 pounds. Oh, that one's backwards. Okay, do you know, okay, let's talk about that. You don't want to back up. Do you know why it's like this? Why? Okay, it's like this so that the tire itself is forced into the perfect spot right in the middle on the bolt stem. Okay, so that's why you always put that bevel in towards the tire.
Because like there's some space between them.
Right, you see that? You see how there's a bit of a gap? It's to force the tire in the right spot. Okay? So while you're doing that, I'm going to run to the truck and I'm going to grab the torque wrench that I need. Because that's been determined to be the best amount of torque on the nut to keep the tire from flying off down the road. And we don't want that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to call that one on and good.
It's full of air.
Yeah, we're going to slide it over. I might get your help though with that. Yes. So we're going to slide it over. Back here, buddy. I'll get you to the back. We'll both lift it up and slide it over this way, the whole trailer. There, that's enough. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. There we go. That'll conclude part 2 of the trailer rebuild series. Thanks for watching. Up next we're going to get all of the pieces that we cut off the rollers, the bunks, the lights, and get the boat back on here and set up just perfectly. Once that's all done, then depending on how long that video is, I might do a longer one for the last one just to do the finish thing, or I guess I forgot, I gotta add the fenders back on too, so there's that as well. And then painting, we're gonna paint the trailer. So if you go back to last year, I painted the boat black, put the SirFishALot logo on there. It's looking sharp, so we're going to do the same thing to the trailer as well. Get the trailer looking mint as much as we can. And yeah, that's that. So if you've made it this far into the project, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.